Coffee time. So this week, I'm showing you guys my morning routine. I get a lot of questions about that, and we talk about routine all the time. So this week, I wanted to give you a little bit of insight into how my mornings usually look. So generally, I wake up anywhere between 5 and 7 a.m. On days if I feel like I haven't gotten a lot of sleep, I'll sleep in until like 8 or 9, but that's way more rare these days. And I'm very grateful to be in a position where I have that ability to say, oh man, I didn't get the best sleep last night. Let me prioritize that so that I know I'll have a good day today. So very grateful to have that option. Normally I'm up somewhere around 6 a.m. and I go straight into the kitchen. I hit the grinder in order to get my coffee ground. I put some water in the kettle on so that I can start making my nice French press with my King's Coast, which I so love, so love. I just got my King's Coast in, and I am pumped to try the darkness blend. Oh yeah. This one is like, the Sol de Minas is like our favorite right now. This one's fucking bomb. This is my man's favorite. So we're pretty excited. It has notes of cocoa, raisin, and strawberry, and oh, I can already smell it. It's so good. I have not tried this Costa Rica, which says it's honey and key lime. Yes! Key lime is like one of my favorite things ever, and they sent me one of these Jaguar honeys. Thank you, King's Coast. Oh my god, I can't wait to try this. I bet it's so fucking good. I get coffee started, and then I usually go around and I open up all the drapes to let all the light in. I let the doggos outside. I get the doggos fed. And then from there, it's like, okay, I've got to do my meditation. I like to read or listen to my audiobooks in the mornings sometimes, but sometimes I swap out the audiobooks for listening to affirmations and repeating them back. So the morning routine is kind of fluid. Like, I have a lot of things that I plan for my mornings and for my day. There are some things that are super, super consistent no matter what. And then there are some things where I shift knowing that I'm going to get it in later. No giggity. But like, if I haven't meditated in the morning, then I know I'm going to need to meditate like before stream. If I haven't gotten any reading done, then I know that I'm going to have to do that after stream, or maybe while I'm doing my makeup, whatever it might be. But the main thing, I really do love making sure I have time to at least like stretch my body and meditate a little bit. So I'm going to be doing some yoga videos on stream very soon, probably after Guardian Con. But my favorite is to watch the Yoga with Adrienne videos. I watch and I do one of those in my living room here, and then I'll go and meditate, and then I start my day, and it's pretty exciting. I usually get through a decent amount of my morning before I like to go on social media. So honestly, if you see me posting really early in the morning, there's a very good chance that it's a scheduled tweet, because I try to avoid social media for the first, at the very least, half an hour of my day, but usually around like the first and last hour of my day, I'm like avoiding social media because it can be so heavy. There's a lot going on. So even if you do a good job of like kind of making sure your feed stays positive, it's pretty easy for the negative stuff to kind of sneak on in there. So yeah, the morning routine is pretty simple. A lot of it is habitual at this point now. I'm so used to waking up and going straight to coffee, handling the dogs, stretching and meditating, that I don't really have to think or like will myself into it. It's like, okay, which of these things am I going to do first? You know what I mean? That's the morning routine. Any questions? This week has been a really fun week so far. I had kind of the usual routine going on the majority of the week, but on Wednesday, I was invited to go to downtown Chicago, because I live in the burbs, and meet up with some friends from Whistle Sports to go to the Mindshare agencies in Chicago. It was really cool. They wanted to have some discussions about women in gaming and kind of the gaming space in general. So that was a really interesting day. There were a ton of major brands represented. And what I learned that day is that a lot of brands really want to get into the gaming space. They really want to start working with content creators, but they don't know how. And they don't know like the right way to connect authentically more than anything. So I was really grateful to be brought into that. I'm glad that I could be there and answer some questions and have some good discussions. And some of the metrics they shared with me were fascinating as well, which I'm going to ask my friends at Whistle if I can get some of that information, and I'll share it with you in the future. But yeah, that was a cool day. So I hung out downtown, had some wonderful conversations at the Mindshare office. I wasn't able to get any footage really while I was there, but it was a cool couple of Q&A sessions. So I'm interested in a lot of your feedback as well. Like one of the questions that I was asked is, how do you feel that brands can interact more authentically online? And I'm interested in hearing what you think about that. I think we've seen some great examples of brands doing it right, so to speak, especially in the gaming space, and how they kind of keep the conversations fun and jovial. But I'm interested in what makes you want to interact with major brands online. So let me know in the comments below, and I can always share this data with my friends. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. Having said all of that, tonight I'm excited because I'm going out with my closest girlfriends for one of my girlfriend's birthdays. She just turned 30. So we're gonna go out, and her and her family invested in a bus, like a short white bus, for a family vacation they took a long time ago. And her husband, who's a wonderful friend as well, volunteered to drive tonight so that we could have a good time and have some cocktails. So that's probably going to be very interesting. I talked to my 3 closest friends and asked if they would be interested in getting on camera a little bit tonight so that you could get to know them a bit. So I'll be introducing you to them a little bit later, and I'm sure that will be ridiculous. Moving on though, before I get ready to go on stream, which is I'm almost late for, and then eventually head out tonight to have some fun drinks with my girlfriends, I wanted to do the Q&A session. As usual, if you ever want your question to be answered during the vlogs, during the Q&A segment of my vlogs, just go on Twitter and ask any question you want by doing hashtag #YoSnaps, and then whatever the question is. You don't even have to tag me in it. I check that hashtag every week and see if there's any questions that I'd like to review on stream with you. And then keep an eye on my Instagram as well, because you'll see me post on my stories, ask me a question for YouTube. And when you see that, ask a question. If I pick your question, then I'll answer it here for everyone. Let's go through some questions. Question 1. I'm bumping into something behind me. Oh, it's a lamp. It's a lamp I don't have hooked up yet. Question 1 was from Twitter using the #YoSnaps tag. It was from Prozac. And the question was, if money was not an object, what would you be doing? Awesome question, especially because, and this may seem hard to believe, I don't really care. You could think I'm full of shit. Money is not the option. Money is not the goal right now. Like, obviously it is one of my goals, but it is not the goal. I am on Twitch because I love it, because it helps me connect to people, and now since I've managed to help myself feel better, and I've seen some great success in helping other people feel better, that's what I'm here for. Like, my entire content creation strategy is all about normalizing conversations around important topics like mental health and mindfulness, and trying to be that kind voice in the world, trying to be another person who you can come in and connect to and feel a little bit more understood, feel a little less alone. So, you know, I'm not making a lot of money right now, to be perfectly honest. I had a corporate job before. Like, I've had some really great jobs in the past where I made a lot. This is not one of them yet. Eventually, yeah, like there are certain goals that are set in place to help me grow my income, but it is not by any means the first thing on my list. It's all about adding value to the world, to the people around me. That's all I want to do. Add value to the lives of others. That's why when I sit down and do my affirmations before stream, I swear I probably mentioned this so much, when I sit down and do my affirmations before stream, I'm not sitting there saying, I will make money today, I make money every day. I sit down at my desk, I close my eyes, I take a few deep breaths, and then I say, I'm confident, I am articulate, I connect to people daily, and I help people connect to themselves daily. That's what I'm about, that's what I'm trying to do. So if money was not an object, I would be doing what I'm doing. Yeah, I mean, like, if someone were to fund like a hobby or a passion project of mine, that's a totally different story. I would so do way more underwater photography. I miss scuba diving so much. But that's not, I think, what you were going for here. You're talking like career and stuff. Question 2 is from the Cha-Cha Slide. Hey, Cha-Cha. Yo Snaps, what book or books would you recommend for the national curriculum? I don't like to plan my answers to these before I start recording. And this one was one of the ones that I saw and I was like, damn, I don't even know what I'm gonna say. Because there's so many books that I love, but I don't know that I have enough knowledge on like children's minds, you know, to be able to say like, this is the right kind of book for them to be reading at these ages, whatever. So I'm gonna go super general. I think that children should be reading way more books on communication and like mental health and mindfulness. I think the biggest thing being the mental health part. Like, children need to know from a young age that their feelings are worth mentioning and that they are manageable, that they are good to talk about, and that they can be helped. And I think, like, given the way that I was brought up and what I've seen in my life, I don't think that's a major priority right now, is letting these children know that the way they're feeling is okay and that they can work on it. So whatever books you might recommend for young people that cover stuff like that, I'd be super interested in hearing about it. I got a lot of young nieces and nephews, and I will totally pass that on. Write some stuff, pink, pink, down there in the comments. Great question, though. Question 3 I'm going to answer today is from Maddie Godders on Instagram. And the question was, what would you say to someone who is good at making friends but is terrible at taking the next step and asking people out on dates? First thing I would say is do your best to practice communication whenever possible, because this is another great example of something that, like, if you have built up that skill, it makes it much easier. But aside from communication, what I often find is that people who struggle to ask someone out, they're doing so or they're avoiding it because they take it personally. Someone isn't interested in me, it means there's something wrong with me. And that's not the case. So I think this goes back into the much kind of like broader thing that we talk about all the time, which is getting to know yourself and learning to love yourself. Because if you know who you are, if you put that work in to find out and create yourself, if you ask someone out and they say no, it's like, okay, we're not compatible. It's not about me in a negative sense that they don't like me or they're not attracted to me or whatever. We're not right for each other. And too many of us take this way too personally when someone isn't interested in us, as if because one person isn't, that means no one ever will be again, or that it means we have some kind of inherent character flaw. And that's not the case at all. So find a way to connect to yourself so you know exactly who you are and the type of life you want to live, the type of person you want to be, the type of relationship that you want to have, and then go ahead and ask. Because worst case scenario, someone says no, that means they don't fit in with that plan for you. They don't fit in with your life plan, and that's okay. Move on to the next one. There's nothing wrong with you. So remember one of my favorite quotes ever from Carol Dweck: failure is an action, not an identity. If you fail, it doesn't mean you're a failure. If someone says no, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. You tried, it didn't work out, move on to the next one, still maintaining that confidence that you are fucking awesome, and someone out there is gonna see it and connect to it and love you. So put a little less pressure on yourself, challenge yourself to work on your communication, and challenge yourself to just go. Ask them out. Hey, I think you're great. I'd love to go on a date with you, to dinner, or go rock climbing, or go stamp collecting. I don't know, whatever you're into. Whatever you're into, okay? Next question, this is question 4. April Lee, I think that's how you would say it, April Lee B on Instagram. What is your skincare routine? I use Neutrogena, this like nighttime cleansing wash, which I probably should have had in my office for this, but I don't right now. But it's pretty easy to find. And then other than that, like, I don't have a great skincare routine. I exfoliate it pretty regularly. I use those face masks that you saw in my previous video and all kinds of different like charcoal ones. I'm always trying new face masks. Face masks. I try to moisturize regularly with SPF, but I wouldn't say I have the best skincare routine right now, which is probably why my skin isn't the best. but it's better than it was, especially because I make sure I clean my makeup brushes very regularly. I make sure that I'm not like sleeping in my makeup at night, which I wasn't really sleeping in my makeup, but I would go to sleep without washing my face more often. And now I make sure I wash my face every night and I put lotion on before I go to bed. So that's like the most routine thing that I do, is making sure I clean my face every night before I go to sleep. Otherwise, I see some women with these beautiful like Korean skincare routines. I'm not there yet. Those are a little expensive, maybe someday. But I mean, it looks like it works. My skin's a little lumpy bumpy right now, but that's fine, it happens. So that's my skincare routine. Hope that helps. If you're wondering why my skin usually looks really good in my pictures, it's because of makeup and good lighting. I'm a photographer, I've got some beautiful like nice natural light all over my house, and I usually seek out natural lighting. And then filters, you know, even just the lightest of filter can really smooth out that whole face. The final question is from Fry Guy 10. What's the best way to perform a self-assessment to determine when to step back from life? Wow, I don't even know what that question is asking fully, so if I'm getting this wrong, I apologize. What I take this to mean is, like, what's the best way to determine if I need to take some time away from it? And I guess that, to me, that's a gut feeling. But I will say I don't think that it's necessary for anyone to stop living their lives in order to work on themselves or figure out who they are. I think they can be done simultaneously. There's ways you can monitor your self-talk, for example, throughout the entire day. You don't have to like quit your job and go and hike in some remote part of the world to find yourself. Like, you can start finding yourself in little moments throughout your day. You can start taking the time to meditate or do good mindfulness practice, like around your house when you're getting ready in the morning. You could start mindfully eating, meaning like be super present while you're eating. So I don't think that there's ever really a time where you need to pull back from life, but you might want to pull back from certain relationships if you're not sure how you feel about them. There's no shame in kind of taking a break and seeing where those go for you once you've had some time to analyze them after you're a little bit further away. But really, like, a lot of the work I did on myself in the past year and a half now was done while I've been working really hard, while I've been socializing, while I've been spending time with family. I take my little mental breaks when I need to, but it's never really like I'm stepping back from life in order to work on myself or assess myself. I assess myself all the time, and I schedule in some little pockets of time to get like really into the nitty-gritty of my mind. Hope that helps. So again, don't forget, if you have any questions you'd like me to answer, I am happy to do that. If you do hashtag #YoSnaps, or if you respond to my questions on Instagram, you can also DM me at any time on Discord. I'm always happy to help. And Twitter, Instagram, anywhere. Like, come into my Twitch streams. I answer questions all day. Like, we are always open to discuss and share our perspective and give advice if that's what you're looking for. Doesn't matter if we're gaming, doesn't matter if we're fucking around. You can always ask. We are always happy to help in any way we can. And the Discord is open, not just my DMs, but the Discord is open. A lot of great channels, a lot of great people in the community who would love to share their perspective with you as well. So keep that in mind. I have to start stream now. So I'm gonna do that so I can stream for a little bit before I go out with my girlfriends tonight. And yeah, I hope you enjoy whatever clips I'm able to get from that. This is the scene, this is the bus. We're gonna be going out for this gal's birthday. And she was just about to give me the tour. Courtney, were you about to give me the tour?
Oh, was I?
Yeah, I think that's what it sounded like.
Alright, so what do we decide? Is this Smithers? Is that what you guys decided for tonight?
Yep.
And then this is our lovely bus. Then we have 2 wheelchairs in the back. We have a lift.
That's wonderful.
We are equipped, alright?
We are equipped.
We are equipped.
Should have gave her the whole
my
street
God.
and let her ride the lift.
Oh my god, that would have been magical.
I mean, we match.
Look at this!
So you haven't been on the bus either?
No, this is my first experience on the bus.
Give her the tour in case she gets lost.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so this is where Smithers sits.
Yeah, I noticed he does not have his uniform on.
Yeah, we're upset.
Deduct
The
points.
Barbie.
Hold on.
What?
Just because you got picked up first doesn't mean you get shotgun.
But I'm already sitting here, so you can suck my balls.
Hey, nothing but the best for you, ladies.
drop us right by the dumpsters like we deserve. She just had the hardest decision ever trying to decide if we were gonna have regular or like flavored margaritas. And then it was like on the rocks or frozen. Very tough decisions.
The only one I was confident on was the salt on my rim.
Yes, on my rim. This is my best friend, Taylor. Right there.
That was your best friend.
You are nothing to me, Ben.
His cup.
How did we meet? Just say anything.
You and me?
Yeah, me and you. Why are we hanging out tonight? How did we meet?
We dated brothers. What am I supposed to say? Like, I don't know what to say.
Terrible.
Okay,
Dated brothers.
No,
We
okay.
shared.
Oh my god. Jess was dating a guy. The guy's brother wanted to date me. I said no. Like 12 times. And then I said yes. And we became besties. Is that like a good
I'm gonna give you more light, just in case that helps. I would describe it as a good synopsis, minus the besties immediately. Taylor drove me crazy.
Oh.
Initially, only for like a year.
I was
Maybe
really cool.
Maybe 2 years. Courtney, how did we meet?
Yeah, Courtney, how'd you meet?
Immediately. Well, let's see. We technically first met when I was a freshman in high school. Jessica was a very scary senior. And my first impression
Says you, Ben. Says you.
did not like a girl in our math class, and so she chucked a book at her. From that point on, I didn't want to be the other girl on the other end, so I was petrified
Listen,
of
don't
Jessica.
throw books at people.
Out of high school days, then I saw Jessica one time driving, and then I remember saying like, "Hey, do you take Route 12?" Trying to be. So we like.
She hit me up on Facebook and was like, I think I saw you driving. Do you drive this car with these plate numbers at this time of day going this direction?
Me. Like, I'm so
Stalker.
cool. Like, don't hate me. Don't chuck a book at me. Stalker.
It worked out well though, because you remember we
worked
actually
out.
hung out at your bridal shower.
I would say, but then it was your wedding that like fully brought this like
And then we, like,
friendship,
connected
love-ness.
immediately.
Yeah, like the love fest.
I was against it the whole time.
Ben was definitely against it. He's still against it today.
I don't approve of this friendship.
And no one cares.
Not it. Still out
No
of
one
fear.
cares.
But yeah, I mean, it was basically a love fest starting at your weddingness.
So, just to go on record, I don't know why people think Jess is cool. I really don't. We were talking about this earlier.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Amen.
I don't understand it. Totally.
It really blows my mind.
Yeah.
All right, well, in closing,
Peace.
Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video, and comment below if you have any questions or if you want to share anything with me. I love talking to you. Love it. So yeah, be my friend.